The wind howled like a hungry wolf. Leaves swirled through the air. It was Halloween night and the town was alive with spooky excitement. Jack and Emily, dressed as a pirate and a witch, peeked out their window. Orange and purple lights flickered from houses across the street. Fake spiderwebs hung from porches. Smiling jack-o'-lanterns grinned with candlelight.
I can't wait to get candy.
Me too.
Halloween was their favorite night of the year, a night for costumes and candy, a night for spooky stories and scary surprises. Tonight, the adventure was about to begin. Their mom called them downstairs.
Are you two ready?
She asked, adjusting Jack's eye patch.
Almost.
Emily shouted, struggling to zip up her boots. Their mum had made them amazing costumes. Jack's pirate outfit had a tattered vest and a sash. Emily's witch's dress was covered in glittery stars. She even had a toy black cat perched on her shoulder.
Remember to stay close and be polite when you knock on doors.
Jack and Emily nodded eagerly. They were ready to fill their bags with sugary treasures. They were ready for a night of spooky fun. They were ready for Halloween. The first few houses were great. They got chocolate bars and lollipops. They even got a few bags of chips. But Jack and Emily were on a mission. They wanted to find the houses with the best candy, the houses with full-size candy bars, the houses that gave out king-size treats.
Let's try that street.
Jack suggested, pointing to a street they hadn't been down before. It was darker and quieter than the other streets. The trees loomed over the sidewalks, their branches bare and spooky in the night air.
It looks kind of creepy.
She whispered.
That's why it might have the best candy.
Jack said with a mischievous grin. He loved a good scare. Holding their breath, they ventured down the mysterious street. The houses on this street were old and a little mysterious. Each one seemed to have its own story, hidden behind the weathered walls and creaky doors. The air was thick with the scent of autumn leaves and the faint hint of something more elusive, something almost magical. Cobwebs clung to the corners of porches, swaying gently in the breeze. They looked almost like delicate lace, spun by unseen hands to add to the eerie atmosphere. Jack-o'-lanterns with crooked smiles seemed to watch them as they walked by. Their flickering candlelight cast dancing shadows on the ground, making the night feel alive with unseen eyes. The air felt different here, quieter, stiller. It was as if the street itself was holding its breath, waiting for something to happen, as if something magical was about to happen. The kind of magic that only comes around once a year on a night like this.
Do you think anyone lives here? The question hung in the air, unanswered, as the children stared at the darkened windows.
Emily whispered, clutching her brother's arm. Her voice was barely audible, a mere breath against the stillness of the night. Just then they saw a faint light flickering in the distance. It was a small, almost imperceptible glow, but it drew their attention like a moth to a flame. It was coming from a house at the very end of the street, the house that everyone whispered about but no one dared to approach. The house was shrouded in shadows, its paint peeling and its windows dark. It looked like it had been abandoned for years, yet the light suggested otherwise. But the porch light glowed with a warm, inviting light. It was a stark contrast to the rest of the house, almost as if it was beckoning them to come closer.
Let's go see. The excitement in his voice was palpable, cutting through the tension like a knife.
Jack said, his eyes sparkling with curiosity. He had always been the braver of the two, always eager to explore the unknown. He pulled Emily along, eager to see what awaited them in the mysterious house. Their footsteps echoed in the still night, each step bringing them closer to the unknown. As they approached the house, they noticed a figure sitting on the porch swing. It was an old woman with a kind face and twinkling eyes. She wore a long, flowing dress and a shawl around her shoulders. Her silver hair shimmered in the moonlight.
Well, hello there, children. Are you two out trick-or-treating?
Yes, ma'am.
We're looking for the best candy.
The woman chuckled softly.
Well, you've come to the right place. I have something very special for you, but you have to come inside to get it.
Jack and Emily exchanged nervous glances. Should they go inside a stranger's house? But the woman seemed so nice, and the promise of something special was too tempting to resist. The inside of the house was just as intriguing as the outside. Strange and wonderful things decorated every corner. There were shelves filled with books bound in leather, There were glass cases displaying sparkling crystals and strange artifacts. And in the center of the room, on a pedestal draped in velvet, sat a pumpkin. But this was no ordinary pumpkin. This pumpkin glowed. It emitted a soft, ethereal light, casting dancing shadows on the walls. The light swirled and pulsed, like magic trapped inside. Jack and Emily had never seen anything like it. They stood mesmerized, their eyes wide with wonder.
Wow.
It's beautiful.
The old woman smiled.
It's a magic pumpkin. It holds the spirit of Halloween.
The old woman carefully lifted the glowing pumpkin from its pedestal. She held it out to the children.
I want you to have this. It will light your way home and keep you safe.
Jack and Emily were speechless. They couldn't believe the woman was giving them such an amazing gift. They reached out hesitantly and took the pumpkin. It was warm to the touch, and they could feel a gentle energy pulsing from within.
Thank you.
It's the best Halloween present ever.
The old woman chuckled softly.
Happy Halloween, children. May your night be filled with magic and wonder.
This is amazing.
I told you this street would have the best candy.
As they stepped out of the house, the glowing pumpkin illuminated the path ahead. The shadows seemed to retreat, and the street no longer felt scary. It felt magical, like they were walking through a dream. Jack shouted, swinging the pumpkin back and forth while Emily giggled. They continued down the street, their hearts filled with joy and excitement. The glowing pumpkin not only lit their way, but also filled them with a sense of wonder and adventure. They knew they would never forget this Halloween night.
Let's go show Mom. She's going to be so surprised when she sees what we found.
They eventually made their way back to their own street, their footsteps echoing in the quiet night. The excitement of the evening still buzzed in the air as they walked past houses adorned with spooky decorations and flickering jack-o'-lanterns. The houses here seemed almost ordinary compared to the magical house they had just visited. The contrast was stark, but it made their adventure feel even more special, like they had stepped into another world for a brief moment. But Jack and Emily didn't mind. They were still basking in the glow of their incredible experience, holding hands and sharing excited whispers about the mysterious old woman and her enchanting home. They had their memories, and they had their glowing pumpkin. The pumpkin seemed to hold a piece of the magic they had encountered, its light flickering warmly in their hands. Emily exclaimed, pulling Jack along, "Come on, Jack, we have to tell Mom everything." They raced into the house, eager to share their adventure with their mum. Their hearts pounded with excitement as they burst through the door, their voices overlapping in their haste to recount their tale. They told her about the old woman, the mysterious house, and the incredible glowing pumpkin. Their words tumbled out in a rush, each trying to outdo the other in describing the wonders they had seen.
Oh, really? That sounds quite the adventure. Tell me more about this magical house and the old woman.
Their mom listened patiently, a smile spreading across her face. She loved seeing her children so animated and full of life, their eyes sparkling with excitement. She didn't believe their story, of course. It sounded too fantastical to be true, like something out of a fairy tale. She thought they were just caught up in the excitement of Halloween. The night had been filled with so many wonders and surprises. It was easy to get carried away. But she could see the joy and wonder in their eyes, and that was all that mattered. Their happiness was the true magic of the night, a memory they would cherish forever.
Do you think it's really magic?
I think so. I think Halloween is a night for magic.
Later that night, as Jack and Emily were getting ready for bed, they placed the glowing pumpkin on their nightstand. The soft, ethereal light filled their room with a warm, comforting glow. Jack whispered, his eyes glued to the pumpkin. Emily replied, snuggling under her covers, and as they drifted off to sleep, they dreamed of glowing pumpkins, kind witches, and a Halloween night filled with magic and wonder. They knew that even though Halloween would come only once a year, the magic of that night would stay with them forever. The glowing pumpkin continued to emit its soft light throughout the night, casting a warm and inviting glow that seemed to hold the very essence of Halloween within its flickering flame. Its light cast dancing shadows on the walls, creating an ever-changing tapestry of spooky shapes and figures that seemed to come alive in the darkness. These shadows wove their way into the dreams of children, filling their slumber with fantastical creatures and magical adventures that only Halloween could inspire. The scent of cinnamon and pumpkin spice lingered in the air, a comforting reminder of the festive treats and warm moments shared in the kitchen. It was a scent that mingled with the sweet aroma of the candy they had collected, each piece a treasure from their night of trick-or-treating. The children, dressed in their imaginative costumes, had experienced an extraordinary encounter, one that would be recounted with excitement and wonder for years to come. As the first rays of dawn peeked through the curtains, signaling the end of their magical night, the world began to stir from its Halloween enchantment. The glowing pumpkin gradually dimmed, its once vibrant light now a soft, fading memory of the night's magic. With the coming of a new day, the magic of Halloween began to wane, but its spirit lingered in the hearts of those who had embraced its wonder. The memory of the pumpkin's ethereal glow, a beacon in the night, would remain a cherished part of their Halloween story. The extraordinary adventure it represented, filled with laughter, surprises, and a touch of the supernatural, would forever be etched in their memories. For Jack and Emily, this night was more than just a holiday. It was a magical journey that would hold a special place in their hearts. It served as a reminder that even in the most ordinary of places, a touch of magic can transform the mundane into something extraordinary. This touch of magic, often hidden in the everyday, becomes especially visible on a night as enchanting as Halloween. Halloween, with its blend of mystery, excitement, and wonder, had once again cast its spell, leaving behind sweet dreams and unforgettable memories.